¿Qué pasó, Pack Nation? It is Pack here. Now, as you already know, by the way, you already know that the NBA season is going to start in late July, back up again. 8-game regular season for every single team, and then into the playoffs, and then hopefully to the finals by, I believe, I actually don't know, I think October, I'm actually not sure. But the NBA season is actually going to end. Like, we're actually going to get an ending to the season, and I'm excited about it. And that means maybe, just maybe, there's going to be a roster update again. Now, in my opinion, if the season's going to resume, you have to have a roster update because there was a bunch of players that were doing fantastic for the last couple weeks, well, the final weeks of the NBA season before it got canceled, that were blowing up and never got the roster update. This is, in my video, I'm talking about the roster update that I'm expecting to happen when the season resumes for NBA 2K20. Before this video starts, though, press the like button. Believe it or not, it helps the channel way more than you would expect. Now, I'm here with the Philadelphia 76ers, as I always do. Quick reminder, I'm only doing the teams that have their season continuing. So no Bulls, Knicks, etc. I'm going based off of the past couple weeks' stats. So no, this isn't their stats for the season. This is for the past 10 games for most players. So I'm letting you know that this is how they've been doing better for the past 10 games. For example, Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid has been doing very, very solid lately. Now, Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid have been injured essentially half the time. They haven't really been able to get into a groove. But for Joel Embiid, the past couple games have been fantastic. So I believe that he needs to be going +1. He is the best player on this team. The Sixers need him to step up because I absolutely believe that they can be contenders as long as they get their team together right. Now, Ben Simmons doesn't get an upgrade because he's missed a couple games and he hasn't been doing better or anything. But Tobias Harris, I believe, has been the most underappreciated and underrated player of not only the Sixers, one of the most underappreciated players of the season. First of all, while these two have been missing games here and there, Tobias Harris has been there every single game, consistently averaging his 20 points a game, and even lately I think it was 23 points a game, doing a little better than usual. I think he has been fantastic for the team. I think he has been underappreciated, and I think it's time for him to get his upgrade, a +1 for Tobias Harris. I think he should be an 86 overall. And then Josh Richardson, I believe, needs to go down. You know, Josh Richardson was amazing on the Heat, but he played a much bigger role on the Heat. On the Sixers, his role is a lot more limited, but they still need a great guard who can shoot on the team, and he's supposed to be that guy. You can't be doing lately when they need you the most. And finally, Shake Milton, who's basically replacing Josh Richardson because Shake Milton has been insane lately. I think he's been averaging 15, 16 a game with the Sixers in the past 10 games. I think he needs to be going up a lot, +2 for Shake Milton at least. He has been fantastic so far. For the Milwaukee Bucks, I miss saying that. Okay, Chris Milton. One of the other players that is probably the most underrated and unappreciated of the season, Chris Milton. Chris Milton is the Robin to the Batman, well, the Hulk that is Giannis Antetokounmpo. Chris Milton is more like Hawkeye or something, but he's been very important to this team, the second best player and a consistent scorer for the team, has been scoring even more buckets lately, and that's what they're going to need from this team if they want to win a championship. Chris Milton is going to need to step up just as much as Giannis has. He's been averaging, I think, like 25 rather than just 20. He's been doing very well the past couple games. I'm going to say +1, but I wouldn't be surprised if they gave him +2, but +1. Now for the Boston Celtics. First off, let's talk about Jason Tatum. Oh my gosh, you know, he's getting even better. He's averaging 30 points a game for the past 10 games, or like 29 points a game, and doing way better than Kemba Walker at the moment. I think Jason Tatum can actually lead a team to a championship at this point. I really believe he can. I believe he's playing as well as I think he even can. Like, can this dude even get better? Like, I say that every month, and somehow he would get better and better and better. He should be a 90 overall at least. And I'm not afraid to say that I believe he could lead his team to a championship. It's not impossible for that to happen. Jaylen Brown also has been fantastic this year. Honestly, I'm going to say I've loved watching Jaylen Brown this season. I watched him live when he played the Spurs. I was at like almost courtside of that game, and he is so amazing. He has been amazing these past couple games too, really stepping up in every category. +2 for Jaylen Brown, at least 87 overall in my opinion. And finally, Marcus Smart has also been playing very well. +1, and you could even say Daniel Tice. If you really wanted to give everybody one, you could also go +1 as well. For the Los Angeles Clippers, you know, no one's been playing better. You know what's weird? I believe they have the best record the past 10 games in the NBA because I think everyone's healthy now. But no one's doing better. If anything, Marcus Morris is doing worse, and That's really it. I think Marcus Morris was great on the Knicks, but the Knicks were bad, and he just kind of got inflated numbers. He has not been doing great with the Clippers, plus his role is so much more limited on the Clippers, so his stats have been going down. I think -1 for him at the moment, but I don't think anything more than that. For the Memphis Grizzlies, who are hoping to keep this 8th seed alive, and I think they can. This team's fascinating because no one on this team is even averaging 18 points a game for the past 10 games, and yet they're thriving. Jonas Valanciunas, you know, if I can ever have an excuse to say that name, I'm going to bring it up. Jonas Valanciunas, I believe, deserves +1, but they're not going to give it to him. I think he's been playing better lately. His rebounds numbers have been going up ridiculously, but you cannot have him with the same rating as John Morant because I know for a fact that John Morant's a better player. You cannot give him the same rating, so they won't give him a +1 unless they give John Morant a +1 as well. Tyus Jones, I think also should go +1. He has the most steals on the team per game, and also scoring-wise, he's been doing very, very well for the team as well, so I think at least a +1 for him. And then one player, I can't believe I'm going to talk about him, Josh Jackson. Josh Jackson has been averaging 13 points a game, I think on 5 rebounds. In the past 10 games, averaging 20 minutes a game. I know y'all hate per 36. I know y'all despise per 36. I know y'all hate it when I even bring it up. But he's like a 20 point per game scorer plus with 36 minutes a game. All I'm saying is he is really important right now for this team, and if he even picks it up a little bit, if he's been grinding during this pandemic and he got even better, who knows what this team could do, man. I think they could hold this 8th seed pretty well, and they could even surprise people with a game or two against the Lakers in the first round. If Josh Jackson really is stepping up the way it's looking like he is. He's been playing really well. Like, what an upgrade. What a comeback story for this dude so far. I think +5. I think he should be a 78 overall at the moment, but I understand that's a huge jump. Okay, for the Miami Heat, I believe Bam Adebayo deserves +2 for multiple reasons. Not only has his stats in every category have been going up, Jimmy Butler is obviously the better player right now, but Bam Adebayo I feel like is the anchor of this team. He's not only the best defender, he can score very well. He sets up his teammates better than anybody on this team. I don't know why he wouldn't be tied as the best player on this team. He's been fantastic, and he's even been playing better than usual. I think he should be tied with Jimmy Butler, at least right now. So +2 for Bam. I think Kendrick Nunn deserves +2 because his stats have been going up again. He's been kind of in and out, but for being a rookie, that's what you'd expect from him. He's been fantastic this year, and he's been fantastic even more than usual lately. +2 for him. I think he should be an 80 overall. And then Duncan Robinson also deserves at least a +1. He has been scoring, I think, 16 points a game for the Heat for the past 10 games, and he has been a sniper, one of the best 3-point shooters in the league as a second-year player. I mean, it's crazy. For the Utah Jazz, a downgrade for Rudy Gobert, and this is for a lot of reasons. One, he was playing worse. Scoring-wise, he was getting less per game, and let me tell you, that cannot happen with this team right now because Bojan is injured, and that's 20 points a game you just lost. So Rudy Gobert now is going to have to step up offensively, and he's been doing worse offensively lately, so that's not a good sign. Not only that, because of what's been going on and what he caused, the chemistry might not be there, and he might be the reason, and he might struggle. I think he should get at least 1 downgrade, 1 overall, but we'll see what happens with him. And then Mike Conley, I think, deserves at least a +1. He's been playing better, and he's going to need to be playing even more better because you just lost one of your better scorers. You are going to need to step up. For the Kings, the only one I thought really was Kent Bazemore, +1, because he's just scoring more than usual. That's really it. No one on this team has been doing crazy better than usual. That's really it. Maybe Darren Fox +1, but I feel like he's doing still as good as he is. For probably the title favorites, the Lakers. You know, when I look at this team's stats on paper, it's kind of sketch because I'll give you my theory in a second, but the one player that has been doing amazing is LeBron James. Of course it's LeBron James. Oh my gosh. He's averaging 30 points a game on 9 rebounds and 8 assists. He's almost averaging a 30-point triple-double in the past 10 games. You know, I thought Anthony Davis was doing as good as him, at least statistically, but no, LeBron James all of a sudden came out of nowhere and was playing amazing. And this is when the Lakers were dominating the league. So, because they've been dominating lately. So because of that, I mean, LeBron deserves at least a +1. I know that's putting him as the best player in the NBA rating-wise, but at least statistically, he has been doing so. And they are the best team in the NBA, in my opinion. The Bucks have a better record, but I believe the Lakers are better right now. And I believe they're title favorites, and he's the best player on a title favorite team. I think he should be a 98 overall. And the crazy thing is, nobody else. I'm a little worried for this team because they have no guard. They have no guard that can get them a bucket. I know that they have veterans that have done it before, but I mean, they did pick up Deion Waiters. I forgot that's a thing. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with this team. It's sketch. Magic. Someone I'm really excited to talk about in this video. Terrence Rose is back, baby. Oh my gosh. Last year, he was averaging like 20 points a game. This year, he was completely vanishing. Where was he? And all of a sudden, the past 10 games, he's been averaging 22 points a game, the leading scorer on the Magic. He is back, and this is when the Magic are in a playoff position. I am excited to see what they can do now that Terrence Ross has picked it up a little bit. This is not a terrible team. It really isn't. It's not a bad team at all. When Jonathan Isaac comes back, I believe he was injured, but Terrence Ross +3 at least to an 81 overall because he has been balling. Nikola Vucevic has been playing better, so +1. But if he does anything like he did last playoffs, he's going to get a big downgrade because he sucked last year. Just want to throw that out there. And Evan Fournier has been scoring a little more than usual, so +1 for him as well. The Mavericks, I have a stat for you that you were not expecting today. First of all, obviously, let's talk about Kristaps Porzingis. You know, I got to say I am proud of Porzingis because when he went to the Mavericks, he kind of struggled citied for a while, and I was kind of sad because I was like, I loved watching him with the Knicks. The fact that he was like not as good as he was like kind of getting depressing for me. But when Luka got down and Luka was injured, Porzingis stepped up and still led the Mavericks to a winning record. And then not only that, when Luka came back, which is recently, Porzingis has still been putting up those same numbers really, really well. Been playing fantastic. That's impressive to me. That's a good sign for the Mavericks, in my opinion. They can only get better, and that's a +1 at least for Porzingis. And not only that, Seth Curry has been averaging 20 points a game the past 10 games, so at least +2 for Seth as an 82 overall, which is crazy to think about. And then Tim Hardaway Jr. has also been averaging 20 points a game the last 10 games, so he also should get at least a +2, so an 81 overall. There are 4 players on the Mavericks right now that are averaging 20 points a game for the past 10 games. That is 80 points across 4 players. And that's even more because Luka's averaging like 25 or something, or 28, and Porzingis is averaging 20. That's 90 points across 4 players. Isn't that absolutely insane? Wow. With the Brooklyn Nets, we're going to go with Caris LeVert, who's been averaging, I think, 23 a game in the past 10 games. LeVert at least deserves a +3. He has been the leading scorer for the team for the past couple games. I'm so happy for this dude. He's so in and out. Like, he puts up big numbers, gets hurt, comes back, is rough, all of a sudden puts big numbers up again. I hope he can keep that up in the playoffs. And if he stays around for next season, this team is going to be crazy. Like, if everybody stays, this team is going to be insane next year. But I have a feeling Spencer Dinwiddie isn't going to stay, but we'll talk about that later. But Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving obviously are not going to be playing for the team because they're injured. But yeah, for the Nuggets, Nikola Vucevic goes -1. The only reason I'm saying this, because he's barely putting up less numbers in every category, barely. And there was no one else to talk about, so I gave it to Nikola. He's still amazing. Jamal Murray believes they're title contenders, and I mean, it's not impossible, so I'll give it to him. For the Pacers, Domantas Sabonis goes +1 as he has been the consistently best player on the team every single game, and he's been doing amazing and even better than usual in the past 10 days, if you can even imagine that. An all-star for a reason, +1 at least for Domantas. For the Pelicans, okay, y'all might get mad at me, and I am sorry off the bat. Zion Williamson deserves and should get +1. I know y'all, here's the problem. That means he'd be up over Brandon Ingram, and you're like, that is blasphemy, Pat. Don't dare say that. This is tough because I can't give Brandon Ingram a +1 because he hasn't been playing better, because obviously now that Zion's in the game or on the court with him, they're sharing numbers now. Like, it's not, your numbers aren't going to go up when you add an amazing player. It's going to start coming down so that y'all can even out. So I can't give Brandon Ingram a downgrade because that's not fair, but he hasn't been playing better, so I can't give him an upgrade because that's not fair. But Zion Williamson has to be upgraded because he's been doing so well. If I could, I would give Zion Williamson a +1 over Brandon Ingram, even though I believe that Brandon Ingram is probably the better player right now. The numbers say that Zion Williamson should be a higher overall. but that's just the numbers, and so I'm not going to give either of them anything. Drew Holiday goes +1. He's been playing fantastic, probably now that he has somebody that he can just lob it to and stuff, so that's great. And Lonzo Ball also goes +2 because he's been playing fantastic lately as well. Averaging like 15 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists. Fantastic numbers for him. Now for the Raptors, the reigning champion, a player that I'm confused why he hasn't been getting crazy upgrades is Norman Powell. He's averaging like 23 a game. He's the second leading scorer on the team consistently lately. I think he should be at least to the same rating as Fred VanVleet or Fred Van Yeet. So +3 for him. I think he should be tied for the third best player on the team right now. For the Rockets, there's only one player to talk about. I have said this in many roster updates, and they have not touched him. Russell Westbrook is one of the best point guards in the league. Statistically, it shows statistically. You watch the games, whenever they adjusted to having no center and putting PJ Tucker at center, he has been thriving, and he has even led the team a couple times for the past couple weeks. Russell Westbrook is doing as good as James Harden for the past couple weeks. If that is the case, why is he so much lower than James Harden? Russell Westbrook deserves a +5 at least, in my opinion. I don't care what anybody says. At least a 95 overall for Russell Westbrook. For the Spurs, LaMarcus Aldridge is injured, which is depressing. DeMar DeRozan has been doing worse than usual the past 10 games, so -1 for him. And then the person that's going to get an upgrade is Trey Lyles, because now that LaMarcus is gone, assuming Coach Pop is just going to put Trey Lyles at the power forward, and Trey Lyles has been playing better than usual, that's what's going to happen, even though I have no hopes for them. The Suns. Ricky Rubio goes +1, now an 81 overall. He's been playing good. Everyone's been playing pretty solid on this team, but they're in the West, so they're kind of cursed. But Ricky Rubio has been playing better than usual. For the Thunder, Chris Paul goes +1. He gets better every time I look at stats. This team wins. Chris Paul, okay. Nobody thought this team was going to be a winning team, and Chris Paul has gotten them to this position. That's why he got one single MVP vote. He has been fantastic this year. He should be an 88 overall, at least. Still one of the best point guards in the NBA. For the Blazers, Damian Lillard was injured for a while, so CJ McCollum has been picking up the slack, averaging 30 points a game for the past 10 games. +3 at least for him. I think he's an 88 overall. I believe he's the second best player on this team now. I mean, he wasn't earlier, but he's doing better now. And finally, the Wizards, Bradley Beal needs to be in the 90 overall club. It's about damn time. I mean, the dude's averaging the most points per game for the past 10 games with 36 points a game. He's been amazing. Will he lead this Wizards team to the playoffs? Probably not. I mean, unless John Wall comes back pretty well and pretty good, and Davis Bertans keeps being nuclear, and Rui Hachimura gets a little better, maybe they'll surprise everyone, but even then, they might not make it. So, no. But Bradley Beal +1 at least. Okay, that's it for this video, you guys. What do you guys think? Do you guys agree or disagree? Leave it in the comments below. And if you like this channel, give it a sub, and I'll see you guys next time.